Hello my friends, how are you doing? It's been a while since we last talked, right? In today's video, I will make some dumplings or buns or balls, I don't know, for the first time all by myself. It is one of my all-time favorite dishes. I can eat it every morning for breakfast without getting bored. So every day when I go to school, I just have a bowl and some soy milk, which is a great combination. I've always wanted to try making my own bowls, but I was worried that I would mess up because they seem to be very difficult to make. But today I decided to challenge myself a bit because, I've been pretty bored recently. Another reason why I will make bells today is that I've always wanted to recreate the type of bells that I used to eat in my hometown many years ago when I was still a student. I remember that it had very thin and soft cover and a lot of filling with glass noodle inside. It tasted amazing and I still remember that taste vividly. But since I came to Hanoi for college, I can't find the type of bells anywhere. Most bells here don't have glass noodle inside, but just minced meat. Most of them are industrially produced, so they're not very tasty actually. So I just thought that why don't I just make my own bells in the way I want, right? Anyways, the first step is preparing the dough. I use a pack of pre-mixed flour to save time, even though it is quite expensive compared to using regular flour. I bought this flour from the supermarket and it smells so good. And it also comes with a small pack of yeast, so it's really convenient and time-saving. Then I leave the dough alone to rest. The instruction says I need to let the dough rest for at least 2 hours, but I think that about 1 hour is enough for me. It depends on the weather as well. It is pretty hot today, so I think that 1 hour or 1 hour and a half is fine. And at the same time, I prepare the filling. This step is not very time-consuming because, there are not too many ingredients. I have minced pork, dried fungus, dried shiitake, boiled quail eggs, and a lot of glass noodle. This step is quite easy actually. I just need to grind or chop all the ingredients and mix them all together thoroughly. I was about to add dried onion as the instruction says, but ultimately I decided to leave it out because I don't like the pungent taste of it. As for seasoning, I only use some basic spices like salt, oyster sauce, soy sauce, cooking oil, a little sugar and pepper. I ran out of broth mix, so I decided to skip it. I was so confused about whether or not to stir fry these ingredients. The instruction says that if I stir fry them up, the balls won't be as fragrant and tasty anymore. But if I leave the ingredients raw, then in case I don't steam the buns well enough, I can get food poisoning. But after all, I decided to go for food poisoning and just use raw ingredients. So I marinated the ingredients for a while to let them absorb the spices. And I can spend this time resting and watching Netflix and even taking a nap as I'm pretty sleepy at the moment. And after more than an hour, the dough has doubled in size. And here comes a very important step, which is shaping the balls.
But everybody has the right to be Screwy in his own way.
At first, I was looking forward to this step because I thought it would be pretty easy and fun. And I've watched a lot of tutorials on YouTube and they all make it look so simple. So I was thinking that how hard it could be, right? But I was totally wrong. It's extremely difficult for me to shape the balls. All my balls are horribly ugly and don't look like the models at all. So I try to follow the instructions, but they are still pretty distorted. So I decided to just like shape them in my own way because I think the presentation doesn't really matter. And I'm just cooking for myself, right? I don't sell these things to anyone. So nobody but just me and 115 of you guys will know how fucked up my bowels are. Anyways, I steam a bowl first to see if it is edible or the seasoning is on point or not. Fortunately, it is as delicious as the bowls from the shop. I'm so surprised and happy about it. The texture of the bao is perfect and the filling is soft and tasty as well. So thanks to that, I have more confidence to finish the rest.
Has the right to be screwy in his own way. Everybody has the right to be screwy in his own way. Yes, sirree. Now everybody has the right to be happy the live long day. Yes, sirree. Some like it fun, peanuts and such, but Miss Murphy down likes it very much. But everybody has the right to be screwy in his own way. When the sun goes down and the chores are through, oh, there ain't nothing better than I like to do than to sit around the house when the folks ain't home, listen to the music on the gramophone. I like mountain music, good old mountain music, played by a real hillbilly band.
So I have finished shaping these bows. You can see that they are totally different in both size and design. Some of them look pathetic, some are better because I try to make them look like flowers. This one I can even see the filling inside and they don't look kind of weird. But let's just ignore that. I decided to steam some buns to eat for lunch today because I'm starving right now. It's like 3 p.m. at the moment. So I'm pretty proud of myself today for finally making a dish that I've always wanted to make. I know that these baos don't look very aesthetically pleasing, but they are quite tasty, exactly like how I expected. And I realized that the process is not too difficult for me, except for the step of shaping the baos, which was very disaster. And as always, if you're still watching my video, thanks a lot for your time. I hope you have a nice day and I will see you soon. Bye.